Hello, everyone. My goodness. Hello. Hi. Hello. I apologize in advance if there are any technical issues today. I'm really hoping that there aren't, and that the computer will be okay for this. But if it really has conked out and I really have to give up streaming until I've saved enough money for the new setup, then I'm sorry. But we are running, I think, and you can hear me. I'll keep it on about 4000 kbps. You might see a slight reduction in quality. That's just to keep everything safe, though. So we're doing okay by the looks of it. Hello, everyone. It's okay, dear. I have issues all of the time. Oh, Christian. Praying for your laptop. Thank you. Thoughts and prayers. I appreciate them all. Here we are. We're all set up. You can see me. Camera is running. I am running. I need to configure the widget because I think it's still set to... the widget will still be set to the crafting stream, which only gives 2 minutes and 5 minute breaks. 25 minutes, yes. Short break, we want 5 minutes. Long break, we want 15. Number of sprints, 6. I think we'll do the full 6 today. I feel good about that. Keep it plugged in and in a walk-in fridge. No, for real. The laptop has given up. Yes, indeed, Christian. The battery broke yesterday. Or the battery broke to a noticeable level yesterday. Technically, when I look back at the archives, it looks like the battery did pack up a few months ago, but because I've not stressed it, I've not played any games, and I've not linked up with any friends since then. So that when I tried to play a 3D game with Jinx, with stream together, it just went kaput. It had 3 massive crashes, and I'm hoping that it will stay alive for the next 4.5 months. I had intended to raise money for a new setup using a all-a-thon. Do you remember the subathon I did last year? I was going to use an all-a-thon this time to try and raise some funds for a new setup, but that was supposed to be in September. So I've started the fundraiser early. It will just sit there. I will add incentives to it as time goes by. I thought I had another 4.5 months to figure it out. Yeah, if you want, the full announcement is in Discord in special events, I think. And yeah, it was a whole palaver. We haven't hooked up in months. That is also true, Jeff. And I wish it wasn't. So we were at, it's airlock, isn't it? Where is my text? There it is. There's our prompt. We are on airlock. I remember writing, I'm quite excited about this story. I remember writing a little ditty. I think it was sci-fi in theme. And it was like a sci-fi Noah's Ark, which has been done before, but I wanted to make it a little bit more intricate and interesting than that. Yes, the premise. I remember the premise. It's to do with humanity's greed. And I remember trying to decide what is on all of the ships. I want to make N-05 undeclared. But I don't know what that means will actually be on there. My interview for winning the competition, Horntootin. Well done, Brian. I'll give that a read in a bit. Congratulations again. You did get first place, didn't you? Yeah. Hopefully me opening that link doesn't crash the laptop. We'll see. You know what? We'll see. Absolutely, Black Iris. There we go. It has loaded. Wonderful. Yeah, things are a bit slow. So it's the battery that's given up. And for reference, with the manufacturer's specifications, you should be able to do 8 hours of gaming on this laptop without it being plugged in. I'm on 2 seconds of battery capacity. So if the lead comes out, it will crash. The battery, yes. The battery, or the battery. The battery. Got to write the dedication. Nice, Brian. Sweet. So I need to figure out what's happened to N-01, N-02, N-03 and 06 get together. N-04 has to be involved in some way, because that has got the microbiology stuff. So I think I will write a refined premise to start off with for this. And then I think I'm going to jump straight into the story. Enter the speed force in 2 seconds will feel like hours. Run, Newt, run! Run as fast as you can. Black Iris, you're so lovely. That's an interesting maths equation. It really is. 02, 03. Yeah, it's there's 6 ships, Brian, that have gone from Earth, and I have to decide what things that they are carrying, how big the ships are based on the biomass of Earth. And then I place my main character on the last one, which is prepared specimens, which is a quick start food source. But then I feel like N-06 should then be first, because they would be the ones to arrive first back to Earth. Unless it's like terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, unless they're all set up to recolonize, and they are the biggest ships, as they should be. The human ships is the one that's going to go wrong. The microbiology ship is the one that she uses to help fight the crossbred bacteria. And then prepared specimens. Okay, yeah, I can make it make sense. I can make that make sense. I really want to do my space opera story where the ships are named after Shakespeare plays. As you should, Brian! Casino entertainment luxury space liner called the Midsummer Night's Dream. Oh, I love it! Or a battleship called King Lear. Or, what would Macbeth be? Macbeth gives the image of, like, a salvage ship for some reason to me. What about the Tempest? The Tempest. Another warship. Mm-hmm. The Tempest. The captain has a massive chip on his shoulder. Oh, this sounds like you've written quite a bit of it. Or at least you've expanded, you've world built. Okay, stream is running well. No dropped frames, 4000 kbps. 12 minutes in, no drops. CPU at 0.3. 60 frames per second. Those are good stats. Those are great stats, even. My battery's not failing. My memory is on 88%, so I could free a little bit of memory up, perhaps. Let's take that down to 73. There we are. Because everyone makes a cursed ship joke. And he's like, you fuckers. You goddamn fuckers. Have you seen that trend, Brian, online with sci-fi where it's humans are space orcs? Because we live in an oxygenating environment. And that's what eventually kills us. No, I haven't. Oh, it's great. There's a trend online and it's like humans are space orcs. So we're like super resilient. Stupid resilient. Because we're not predator animals, we're persistence predator animals. And so we don't have any sharp teeth or claws or stuff like that, but so we're quite squishy, and we also live in an oxygenating environment, and oxygen is our main... Oxygen causes more damage than a lot of the other airborne things. Like if we were on other things from the periodic table, we wouldn't get oxygenating damage. And so aliens would look at us and just be like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? I cringe at the word trend. Mm-hmm. It's true, oxygen rusts things, exactly. And yeah, they talk about how there's like perfected alien sort of things are these beautiful but very fragile species with sort of like thin skin, and they can't lose a lot of blood, and they can't be in environments that don't have perfect air, And then there's humans who are just like, we'll cough it up, we'll be fine. It hasn't been proven yet life can happen without water or oxygen. Indeed. Indeed. Well, in the phi bit of the sci-fi, we don't have to prove it. Let's get this pen working. And then I think we'll start our sprints. I should plan what I'm going to do today, really. The pen got ink. But hand-wavy science, exactly. It'll do. If someone asks how it works, just, you know. It works, don't question it. That's pretty much how I'm going to calculate this, because I don't want to do all the maths for the required size of a ship that could hold all of Earth's aquatic and terrestrial plant biomass. I'm just going to say that they're huge. And the first two ships are the ships that they first got off, and they are the preservation ships. With the terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. And then terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, humans, microbiology, and then I maybe want to put, like, bugs in N-05. Like, but then that would be a prepared specimen. I'm thinking of the, you know, biomass trees where they have a bunch of plants down at the bottom and the apex predator on top? I'm thinking like that. So I'm starting at the bottom of the pyramid. I've then injected humans where they shouldn't be, as humans would do, because we're so preoccupied with our own survival. But then I've taken it back to microbiology. Because I think we would think of terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, and then we would think, oh, actually, we're going to need our microbiology as well. And then prepared specimens would be our very last one, because those would be the apex predators. They'd be the top of the pyramid. But they would also be prey animals like deer and things. And so I'm a little bit stuck on what I want for this. Prepared specimens will also include giant trees. You need to have water. Water is a lot of mass. Good lord, that'd be a mega structure. That's what I'm thinking. And that is going to be N-01 and 02 are going to be giant. They're going to be cities. Oh, that's right, you're a bio nerd. I am a bio nerd. That makes me maybe want to change them from N-01 and 2. Do I maybe want to change them to even a different classification? Because they're so different. And maybe it's the job of the smaller ships to reconnect with 01 and 02 and then provide their microbiology and prepared specimens to those ships instead of back to Earth. So it's 1 and 2 that have the capacity to rebuild Earth because they're big. Bionode 1 and 2, exactly. Well, dash 01 and 02 mean? It just means number 1, number 2, and number 3. I just made it sound sci-fi. What determines their names? It's just the number is the order by which they launched. That's all. Because it is a short story, so I have to get the reader to wrap their mind around it really quick. Because it's going to be a couple of thousand words. A for aquatic, that's a good idea. I can do A for aquatic. T for terrestrial. I could then maybe make it not... but then if I don't make it a solo ship... But then I could justify that by saying humanity sort of didn't place their eggs in one basket. Because they could launch a bunch of these types. You know? And then they wouldn't be cities, they would be fleets. That's an idea. That's a good idea, even. I like that. I like it, Brian. I'm vibing with what you're saying. How hard sci-fi would this be? Not super hard sci-fi. It's definitely more on the fiction side than the science side, because I'm going to sort of mumble my way through some of the science, because we've got to go... The story takes us on the very last ship, which has prepared specimens. So old trees, apex predators, full-size animals, livestock, that sort of stuff. The main character is the microbiologist aboard. And the plan is, there's an asteroid headed to Earth. Earth then sends all of the stuff needed to rebuild the nature on Earth up into space, one by one, bit by bit. for a trip around Mars, because there's already a Mars base. So they launch everything into space. The plan is to just whip round Mars and then come back to Earth with all of the equipment we need while the asteroid hits, destroys pretty much everything, and then we can recolonize. It's a very simple plan. It takes place over 9 years. And I'm not going to detail the recolonization because that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is the survival in between. And then, so they go out one by one in order. 01 to 06. And then when the very last one gets there, the Mars base has been destroyed. So they can't get what they want from there, which was supplies or fuel or whatever. I'm going to write down what they need from Mars and why they're going there. Or whether it's just a check-in with the other humans that are left. What they don't realise is they pick up a bacteria. What is that? Oh my goodness! What have you done? Who have you done? I can't see it. My eyes, it's too small. I need to have Twitch open. Thank you so much. Who has done this? Who has done this? Hey, Iris. Oh, Black Iris, thank you so much for the gift sub to Brian. Brian, please enjoy your emotes and your ad-free time. Black Iris, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Any penny that I earn is going to go towards the new setup. So that is, I'm really thankful for that. Thank you so much. Sorry I couldn't shout your name out straight away. I didn't have any of the background stuff set up yet. Oh, Black Iris, you're so cute. Because building massive ships requires tons of energy and processing for metals and fuel. Extension-level asteroid would make Earth uninhabitable for much longer than 9 years. But you have hand-waved through terraforming tech. Exactly. Exactly. And I've researched. It is technically possible. I researched the dinosaurs. This is the sort of... The asteroid is sort of based on the dinosaurs. And there was microbiology that they found. I think it was just a couple of years after it hit that had survived. So it is technically possible. But I think... Maybe that's what I could make the 5th ship could be the terraforming ship. The 5th ship, which I have not filled up with anything, could be the ship that is needed to... It's like the hardware. It's the hardware ship. Yes, thank you, Black Iris, again. And then they discover a mutated bacteria, and it's infected 0C, which is the human ship. And then it is the story of the main character going between the human ship and her ship, trying to figure out how to cure them. And I'm still unsure as to whether I should make it so that the animals, the prepared specimens that she's carrying, also get infected. So that is the big question. Those are the big questions. But the general consensus is these ships get sent with this. When this ship reaches Mars, which is 4.5 years after it leaves Earth, the humans aboard destroy the Mars base, and that's where it goes wrong for the other 3 ships. So it's split into sort of 2 bits. And I'm going to start halfway in between. I'm going to start with her, the main character, either discovering the Mars base or discovering N-03. I think the Mars base would be a good place to go. So I'd start with them trying to communicate with the Mars base, and then I would go back using the character's memory to recap what has got them there. That seems the most sensible. Extinction, not extension. They always have the asteroid fragment just do massive damage but not actually destroy the planet. Yeah, that's the plan. It's a 75% extinction event. So it's going to affect huge population. It's going to have huge population effect, but it's not going to kill everything. So there's even still going to be humans down there in bunkers. But this is what they've done for... Because space travel is so easy when I start this story. They've already gone to Mars. It's so easy that they're just going to send everything up. Maybe they have a... What do you call it? It's the space ladder thing that circles Earth. It only exists in theory. You know the space ladder thing that makes getting off of Earth a bit easier and doesn't use much fuel? Okay, just don't take me to the webpage then. A space elevator, yeah. Maybe this is something that I could make it just like it was so much easier to go up than dig down because of the space elevator. Me doing insignificant world building. Well, it's a short story, so I have to just wrap people's head around the situation is the thing. People infected, that's fine. Dog infected, we riot. Well, I had this image. I had this image for the start of the story, but I'm going to start it earlier than that. I had the image for the start of the story that the main character would see an infected cheetah that's broken through the airlock and is scratching at her door and trying to get through, and it to be a literal interpretation of like there's nowhere to run because cheetahs are very good at running. I've got 2 stories similar to this. Hey, Brian, same brain. An AI statistically determined our own pollution has tipped beyond being able to save our planet, so it collects specimens from everywhere, including humans, to preserve history and the developed civilization in a museum megastructure it runs. Ooh, I like that. But that would make AI, it would be very 2001 A Space Odyssey, because the AI would then be the villain. I want the humans to be the villain, because I want it to be that N-03 arrives at the Mars base and that a couple of things have gone wrong. Humans aren't doing very well, and they raid the Mars base and they ruin it for everyone because we are stupid, and that is exactly what we do. And so I want it to be like that. That is the message of the story. B, humans evacuated Earth and live in ships and space stations in orbit because the surface is uninhabitable, or so they think, and have been up there for centuries. Then they discover that there's still humans on Earth. Ooh, and it's like, what do they look like? That's very Fallout with the, when the Vault Dwellers come out, everyone's freaked out by them because they look too perfect. This AI cares about preserving history and life. That's its function. I think I would mention AI, that they ran a formula for AI of what we should keep, of what is the best stuff for recolonization. I hate evil AI stories, although I hate our current AI. Yeah, literally. AI is horrible. Fuck AI. Well, generative AI is horrible. AI has its place in data management, because humans don't always see things in data, and it's nice to double check that with AI. That's brilliant. Generative AI can get fucked. Humans are stupid, but not me. But not us, Black Iris. Not us. Anyone here. It's an alien AI, not human developed. It has been monitoring Earth. Ooh, I like that too. I like that too. I could get really into a long form AI story here though. No, not AI, sci-fi story here. And if I do that, I just won't keep to the fact that this is supposed to be a short story, because I'm gonna write it all in this month. I won't keep if I get really into it. Like, you guys are fucked. We'll rescue your civilization, which just means farming us, right? Alright, I think that I am going to write my to-do list for today. So, 6 sprints total. I will spend over half of them on this story, because this story is making me happy. And I recently cleared my inventory of things to do. I submitted my tax form and my PIP form and finished Jinx's beta read and sorted out a bunch of other stuff. So I'm pretty clear to write, which is nice. But I still have to get the Fables book out. So, number 1, prompt. Number 2, prompt. Number 3, prompt. Number 4, prompt. And number 5 I will spend on Fables. And number 6 is my free sesh. If I'm done with work, I will end stream early, but if I'm still working on Fables or the prompt, then I will just keep working on those. A very simple to-do list. Like, it can't figure out how to stop these devastation events from happening. I also like to think that maybe it would be like that we were stupid, or that we've done something unsuccessfully at the start of the story. Like, the reason this asteroid is going to hit is because we tried to redirect it, and without redirecting it, it wouldn't have hit, or something like that. I want it to feel like humanity is the smartest, stupidest thing in this story. And they just keep mucking it up. Although it's sad, frustrated that all these civilizations are failing. Oh, that's sad. So many ideas. I think even data AI is kind of stupid. Depends on where it's used. Yeah, it depends on where it's used. If it's a manageable amount of data that is used in basic analysis, and it's not used in place of human checking, but it's used as well as human checking, then I think that's a good thing. Because we've run AI on medical results and things, and we've seen things that humans didn't. So I feel like it has its place there. But generative AI is stupid. Also get the planet nobody can leave. Once they're on the surface, they're affected by something, and if they try to leave, their brain shuts down. Ooh. By screwing with it, we screwed ourselves more in your story. Exactly. Jinx, hi, how you doing? I'd heard WWE started using AI to analyze which wrestlers people like and which one to make win next, and pretty much deciding the narrative and stuff. Can you believe that? Well, so WWE is a story, isn't it? So they've used generative AI to write that story. That sucks. I'm alive. Today was rough. Oh, I'm so sorry today was rough. And I'm sorry about yesterday. What happened to my laptop battery? I don't know. Staying alive. Ha, 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 ha. Staying alive. Johnny! Thank you for those biddies. Hello. Your laptop be like, well, she's plugged in. I've taken the kbps down to 4,000. I've turned the fan on to medium. And I've lowered everything. And I think that for the next 4.5 months, while I put money into that, the fundraiser, I think it can survive writing streams. I think it can survive crafting streams. It might struggle with Minecraft, but I think it might be able to survive those as well. We'll see. But writing and crafting is on the table. And then for Wednesdays, for actually raising funds, I may just do a just chatting stream. I may just hang out. Also, I apologize for everyone who just came in, because I think you've just got hit with an ad. I'm really sorry. It's very poorly timed. Here's a philosophical question. Is spell check considered AI software? Yes. It is. But I don't mind that. Because it's not generative. If it was to tell me, like, Grammarly pisses me off, because I'll write a sentence and it will say, oh, this is spelt wrong. And I'll say, brilliant, thank you, Grammarly, for checking my grammar. And then they'll say, but this sentence is better. And I'm like, I don't want you to write for me. I want you to help me. You know, I want you to help with the spell check and where the comma should go and all of that. Not with what sentence is better. My sentence is my sentence. Don't rewrite it. Because we've been using that since Microsoft Word. And this is what I mean with AI has its place and it's not staying in its lane. I need to say sorry, it was out of your control. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm looking forward to the Wednesday streams and fundraising for the new setup. But I was not prepared to launch the fundraiser so early. So it's a bit of a dry fundraiser. And I don't like asking something for nothing. It's bothering me. But I hope that the Wednesday streams will become the something that I'm giving back. You can definitely write and craft on the table. Black Iris. You can do Minecraft streams, but not Minecraft streams. Minecraft, Kevin. Things that say which sentence is better is such nonsense. And teaches nothing. Exactly. And it's usually based on formal writing. But as a fiction writer, I don't want things to sound like a CV all the time. My badge has been evolved. Whee! Wait, there it is. What is it? I just see that you have a star. Ah, there it is. I see it. Beautiful badge. I can't believe it's subbed since January 2025. Sorry, following since January 2025. Subbed for 14 months, Johnny. Thank you so much. I have the best community on the internet. You're very welcome. Well, thank you. Right, I think I'm ready to get on with this. I think that I need to patch a few plot holes in this original premise idea. I need to patch what exactly happens with the asteroid. But that's going to be a bit of a mystery until they get back. So what exactly happened with the asteroid? I need to patch that. I need to patch... I think I bullshitted my way through the Space and Mars thing using the space elevator technology. I think that's fine. I don't think that they'll need that much fuel to get into space. Because once you're in space, you hardly need any fuel. You need like a fire extinguisher. I've seen WALL-E. And then I need to figure out... I think N-05 is going to be terraforming machine. Yeah. I think that that's a good idea, because I think... I have an idea... There's two endings to this story, and they both involve the terraforming machines, so... It would be good to have that, and not just tag it onto 01 or 02, because these are essentially inconsequential. They're the biggest and most important for the Earth in the story, but they're not the biggest part of the story. And I need to make some characters. I need to make my main character. I think I called her Vivian. Dr. Vivian? Did I call her Dr. Vivian? Vivian Zaid. That's her name. And so I need... Vivian Zaid is a biologist, which I guess would be mission specialist. But I will need a commander, a pilot, an engineer, medical officers, a mission and payload specialists. I need all of those. I need a main crew for her to interact with. Don't care about acceleration. You don't need more fuel. Exactly, Brian. At work, I might be headed to the gym with my clients soon. Not sure though. He may use the treadmill at home. No worries. In Monty Python voice. Yes, get on with it. There's a few days here that I'm not subbed. Well, thank you, Johnny. It means a lot that you would spend your Prime sub on me. I'm still tired. I'll be in the background. All good, Lady Megora. Thank you for stopping by and lurking and being so lovely. I'm going to start the sprints. Just saying hi. Oh, yeah, we shout at each other when we say hi, Brian. We just shout our names at each other. But I'm going to start the sprints. Good luck, everyone. I will be muted, but still texting in text chat. I will try and time the ads for when I am silent, but not when I am speaking during the breaks. And I'm going to get on with writing. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you in 25 minutes. Oh, hello, hello. I'll unmute for the raid. Hello, hello. Dunkin' Donuts and Lunar Imaginarium. I'm not pronouncing that right. Hello. Welcome on in. Is this a joint raid? Were you streaming together? Lunal Maginarium. There we go. Lunal Maginarium. Duncan and Lunal, welcome in. Thank you for trusting me with your communities. I am a writing streamer. We are doing writing sprints. Hello, hello. We are indeed. What were you doing? What were you up to? Were you writing like me? Luna Imaginarium. There we go. Thank you. I love your name, Random Nom Nom. Hello, hello. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for picking me, you wonderful people. Hello, Raiders. Hello, hello. My name is Writer Woman, aka Newt. And I do writing streams every Thursday. We do Pomodoro sprints. I do crafting streams every Friday. I've had to reconfigure my streams recently, and usually Monday is Minecraft and Wednesday is gaming, but unfortunately my laptop is not doing very well. She's an old woman, and we're looking towards replacing her. So those streams may change to more writing and more crafting, but you are very welcome on in. Luna was editing my work live. It was first stream on her own channel. Wonderful, Duncan. And well done, Luna. It's nerve-wracking to go live the very first time on your own, but once you've done it once, it's so much easier. Words with Paper have a 567-page paper book that one day I will change into a digital. Ooh, hell yeah, Wonky. I love working with pen and paper. Who could that be? Who could this be coming in? Pale! At the library! Thank you for joining us at the library. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to meet you. Here come old laptop. She come booting up slowly. She takes a while to boot up, and she has very loud fans. I refer to her as having a smoker's cough, because she takes a while. Pale, how you doing? We were muted for our sprint, but we got a joint raid, which was really nice. And we were just talking about writing on pen and paper versus writing on a laptop and how much I prefer it. I have lots of pen and paper. I also have... This is the writing archive for all the writing clubs we do on Thursday, which is all ordered and preserved and waterproofed, and will contain a year of reading. Eventually. A year of writing, sorry, not reading. Fancy seeing you here, Random Nom Nom Nom. Hi, Wolf, how you doing? But we have similar interests or something. What? Are you kidding? I've had a few of my writing friends bump into each other over here, which is really, really nice to see. That I've just been a viewer in some people's channels, and then they've hopped on over to come say hi to me too, which is really nice. We're all writing streams here. I mean, is that a mixture of, like, strange fiends? Strange and fiends? We could be writing streams. I'm a strange fiend. But yes, this month, we do a prompt every month. This month is Airlock, as you can see up here. And I'm writing a sci-fi story, which I've just started. And I have the basic premise here. I like the idea so far. It's abandonment of Earth because an asteroid's coming. And so I've made up 6 ships containing all the things that Earth needs. Terrestrial plants, aquatic plants, humans, microbiology, a terraforming machine, and then the very last one, prepared specimens, which is a quick start food source and also a quick way to balance the ecosystem. This very smallest ship is where the main character is going to be. And so I need to patch a few plot holes, do a bit more world building. I also need to create a bunch more characters because I only have a main character. So that's what I'm doing. So without further ado, I will go back into sprint mode, which means my mic will be muted, but I will be accessible in text chat. And yeah, happy writing. Good luck, everyone. Thank you very much for those raids. I appreciate them.
I'd like to spend my vacation at the library!
Good girl.
Hello, hello. We're on our little break now, a little 5-minute break. I've hit a snag. I think that the human story is going to get completely lost if I try and make these ships the absolute only part of humanity that's left. So I'm going to reduce their numbers drastically, because part of the story is that the main character has to search ship number 3. But in order to make it work, and in order to save them even less than half of humanity, it's going to have to be a ship the size of Asia. How is she going to traverse that? You know? Break time! Did the impact hurt? Yes. BRB while I cook a couple of steaks. Ooh, one for me, please. Trains? Trains? You mean like Snowpiercer? Snowpiercer was my favourite series. Highly recommend Snowpiercer. Internal train systems? That's true. But even then, how long would it take you to train across Asia? Even if you were going at 200 miles an hour. I want it to be a sort of smaller scale, close human story with a few humans involved. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll have it that the majority went underground and the contingency is these ships. And when they return, they see that the underground has not worked. And in space, you don't get wind resistance. That's true. What trains? My Tism loves trains. Give trains. Steam trains. You fake gravity, you can make trains go hella fast. I was gonna... You remember the, in The Martian, they have that wheel on the ship that goes back to Mars. They have that wheel that circles. And because it works on a gyroscope, they have gravity within that circle. It's really freaky. Maybe I could design one of those for the ships. The world is my oyster, quite literally. So I think maybe I'll have these ships as a scientific contingency that was built and funded by the very smartest, who could sort of anticipate that the bunkers weren't going to work. Yeah? I just texted someone getting into sci-fi, and autocorrect changed it to science, so I'm getting into science-fi right now. Not science fiction, science-fi. Science-fi, if you will. I'm gonna head off and get some dinner. All good, Luna. Great to meet you. Great to meet you too. I'll pop by again in the future. The vibe is lovely. Well, thank you, Luna. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for trusting your community here, and well done. It was you that went live on your own channel for the first time. Well done for doing that. Without resistance or gravity, a train's speed is theoretically limited only by structural integrity and power, potentially exceeding 3,000 miles per hour to 5,000 miles per hour in a vacuum tunnel. I kind of, as good as that vibe would be for the story, I kind of want it to be like she arrives at this broken down ship and all the airlocks are broken and she's floating around and she has to sort of dig through the remains herself. I want it to be more human and small scale. So maybe I'll write it that the majority have gone underground and I make these ships much smaller. What is the smallest biomass that could sort of colonize Earth? Especially human bodies going to get splat against the wall. Also, if you're going at 5,000 miles an hour and you had like the smallest bit of friction, the tiniest imperfection, surely that would have huge consequences. Minimum viable population, that's what I'm looking for. More human biomass required to repopulate Earth while ensuring long-term genetic viability is generally estimated to be a population of 500 to 5,000 individuals. So if you needed 500 samples of every single plant on Earth, it's going to be way too big. Have it literally float down a tube. Inbreeding, yay! No, no inbreeding. We want to avoid inbreeding. Oh, we're going back in. Okay. I'm happy for some of this to be boiled down as well to gametes. So some of it to sort of the reproductive material needed. Seeds, eggs, sperm, that kind of thing. I'm happy for some of it to be stored like that. But I just want to reduce these sizes because these are huge. They're too big. This is pedantic, but a rotating ring on a spacecraft does not create gravity. It's centrifugal force, the easiest way of faking gravity on a spacecraft. Well, thank you, Owl. I appreciate... you're not being pedantic. You're being scientific. I appreciate scientific. We are going back into sprint mode, which means I will be muted, but I will still be texting in text chat. I will see you in 25 minutes. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to try and patch this story into something usable. Wish me luck.
show you guys something.
What is it?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait and see. It's a surprise, man.
Daddy, is this volume 2?
It is, baby.
Okay, I've scaled it down to an appropriate level, and I realized how much I've had to scale it down. So now ship 1 and 2 together are going to carry 0.01% of all of the plant biomass of Earth. Even then, it's going to need a skeleton crew of about 500,000 people on each ship. So they're still massive, which is, I want them to feel massive, I want them to be massive. And this means if I'm going for the 0.01% of biomass, I can scale down the other ones appropriately and end up with quite a nice small ship for the main character. Back with steak and chips and onion rings and big old tomato. Let's go! Newt, Hale, how you doing? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna stand up because this is our longer break. I'm also gonna get a drink and I'm gonna get a snack. Take a break from all the maths. Oh my goodness. I ran some numbers up the flagpole. I ran a lot of numbers then. But I've done approximates based on the gigatons of carbon that exist on Earth. And then I'm going to semi-scientifically bullshit my way through the terraforming machine and have that maybe turn into... Or the terraforming machine has the capacity to turn the 0.01% into 10% within a certain amount of years or something. Something like that. It's a short story. It doesn't have to be absolutely watertight. It doesn't have to be airlock tight. Airlock. Yes. Yes, we looked that up earlier, Pale. Suggests that with carefully managed, strictly monitored breeding to a maximized genetic diversity, a population as small as 80 people could survive. Oh yes. Oh yes. We looked that up earlier. Yeah, I like that idea. Or to scale it all down. But even then, if you scale it all down, what's wild is that humans, all of humans, being such a dominant species, we still only make up less than 0.01% of Earth's biomass, which is wild. We're so insignificant. Then when you put it in the scope of this story and the end of the world and trying to preserve human population, we become very important all of a sudden. So if I'm going for 0.01% of Earth's population, I have Earth's population at 11 billion at this point because we're far in the future. And so if I were to do that, then 0.01% of 11 billion. What's that? We are left with... Oh, what are we left with? 1,100,000 would be my population for that ship. Even scaled down, it will be ridiculously huge. I didn't realize how much scaling down I would have to do. I've not even gone to 1%. I've gone to 0.01%. Yeah, if I were to say 1.1 million aboard that ship, number 3, N-03, then I would need to take a look. I would need to put a crew context on that. So maybe I'd do 1 million frozen with 100,000 crew. Even then, it's bloody huge. And then I need to decide on how big the ships are going to be based on that mass. Greatly helpful my writing too. I'm glad, Fiona. This is good. Yeah, we like to do research together and ask each other questions and stuff. Yeah, I'm much more comfortable working in millions rather than billions. I think once you get to billions, it starts to become a little bit unfathomable. And so if we were to put that, if there was 100,000 crew, and then I were to split the ship into sections, then if you were to put 100,000 into 20 sections, then you'd end up with 5,000 crew in each section. That sort of thing. And then I whittle it down to just having the crew on, or having the bit of the crew that I want to focus the story on, because there's only one main character. Today is a obituary and funeral service, so not as fun. Aw, that sucks. Well, I hope your work goes well regardless. I'm very surprised the laptop is staying up. I'm very happy the laptop is staying up, but I'm very surprised the laptop is staying up. Thank you, I got you. Visualizing the quantities of climate change is... I'm using this as well. So we'll need to decide on how big the ships are, but also... It's still fathomable to turn these into fleets of ships rather than ships. I wouldn't be against turning them into fleets of ships. It's going to make the Mars base that I'm writing about a lot bigger. Maybe we've populated half of Mars. But even scaled down, it's going to be big. Because if I'm going to have 500,000 crew on 2 ships, no, on each ship, so 1 million together, they've got to be mega ships. They've got to be space bases. Space base. They're going to have to be built in space, using the space elevator. That's the only way that they can exist. But it's more fathomable, and I need it to be fathomable. I need it to be in numbers that I understand. Else I'm not going to understand the full scale of it. What other ones do we have to do? NO3, which my numbers are completely wrong on that. Well, if it's frozen people... So if I go for 1 million frozen people, how many... Let's say one person is in charge of 1,000? And then I'd get my crew number from that. Emerging from hibernation for a moment. Newts, my brain fails me. Did I tell you about the idea to write a horror? You told me that you were going to write a horror, but you didn't tell me the premise. Do you have a premise? I'd love to hear it. Is it werewolf? Ow! Cthulhu! Eldritch Horror. Oh yeah, you did tell me about this. I remember Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Oh yeah, write it. Because that is the Eldritch. The word Eldritch for Eldritch Horror comes from unfathomable. It comes from something being so big that you cannot actually wrap your head around it. You know when you scale up even just the solar system and then compare that to the universe, the human mind can't actually fathom how big that is. How about a bit of fathoming? The Star Wars Imperial Star Destroyer, an Imperial I-Class Star Destroyer, 1.6 kilometers, carries a total complement of over 47,000 personnel, including 9,235 officers, 27,850 enlisted personnel, over 37,000 crew, along with a full garrison of 9,700 stormtroopers, while a minimum of roughly 2,000 to 16,000 personnel is required for essential operation. Full crew is required for combat efficiency. Oh, hail, that is a good bit of fathoming right there. Imperial... a Star Destroyer. For some reason I was thinking the Death Star, and that made me think, surely it would be really empty then. No, Star Destroyer makes a lot of sense. Come into the Pentacle of Tentacles. Hey, happy birthday, happy people, and lovely librarians. Happy birthday? Is it anyone's birthday? Thank you, Tay. Thank you for popping in. I've got the startings in my head. This is good. That makes me want to take it down another 0.1%, so it'd be 0.001% of plant biomass. Shall I run the maths even further? Because this does not have to be. The majority of the population is quote-unquote safe. I'm going to give them a long time to prepare for this, a huge time. So maybe I could take it back. First Death Star, DS1 had a total complement of over 1.1 million personnel, comprising 675 crew, 52,276 gunners, 607,360 troops, 30,984 stormtroopers, and over 400,000 droids, making it a massive floating military city. Do you know what I've not considered? And Brian mentioned this earlier. I've not considered AI and robots. That could cut the crew in half. Robots, exactly. That could cut the crew in half. So if it was N-03 has the population of 1 million frozen, and you needed... The numbers are still too big. I want it down to just a couple of thousand. I'm going to take it all down again to 0.001 of the biomass. Of all categories. And then I will use bullshit science using the terraforming machine to up that into maybe 1% over the course of 10 years or something. They can cut the crew in half and they can fill twice as many positions. Exactly, Alston, exactly. So Luke murdered a small country, yes. But he did it very well and he trusted in the Force. Be that as it may, he was an excellent shot. Do you know what's happened? They've recently put the Christian Bale Batmans on Netflix, and I started watching Batman Begins before this, and I really want to watch the rest. I may have a marathon tonight. Be the perfect time too, because I'm getting sick. I have a little cold in my little nose. Just a little cold in my little nose. A very healthy snack for me. Hashtag not spawn, but if they wanted to. If they wanted to give me that Haribo money. Ooh, yeah. That'd get the numbers right down. It would give that scope as well of loneliness. I want there to be a scope of loneliness, and then they come together in their section of the ship for lunch or something. And then there's a main character crew of about 6. As in, the reader gets to know these characters very well. There's a main character and 5 side characters. Had a lot of trauma that never gets talked about. True, Tay, true. But a lot of them were droids. A lot of them were bloody clankers. Isn't that what they call them? Yay! Yum, 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 yum. How is it focus mode already? I don't want to do any more maths. Let's take it down by another 10%. and make it 0.001. Yeah. It's still massive. I'm not ignoring work whispered. Yes, I am. Talked about in the books. Is it? I've not read any Star Wars books. I probably should. Right, we're going back into focus mode. Our third sprint. I'm going to be doing more maths to figure out this story. An essential, if slightly annoying part of this. This is my second to last work on the prompt before I move on to Fables. I wish everyone luck. Good luck, everyone. I may also go and pee. I'm not abandoning you, but, Hale's in charge. See you in 25.
Boobies. 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 Boobies.
Good puppy. Good girl. Naughty girl.
All right, we are on our 5-minute break. I have got my final numbers, I think. So they're scaled down to 0.001 of the biomass of Earth. And I put 0.5 as being a terraforming machine that I hope will turn that 0.001 into 1% within, I don't know, 10 bullshit science years. It has the lowest crew because the terraforming machine only needs to be piloted around Mars. It doesn't need to do anything else. So that is the maths of the premise finally done. And I can just get on writing the story now, which I'm thrilled about. It was weird to work with biomass, and I must remember that biomass is mostly dehydrated. So I just need to say that it's not biomass, that it's tons of material, which might mean that it has less individual things like plants. But it's a short story, so I'm going to talk about how the terrestrial plants are mostly seeds and how the oceanic plants are mostly, oh god, what do you call them? Spores. How the people are frozen and stacked together, and how the microbia is mostly in inactive states, again, frozen. The terraforming machine is just a big machine. And so the most life is happening on number 6, even though it does not carry a huge amount of specimens. So 200,000 tons of prepared specimens, crew of 20. I'm thinking that if it's I'm thinking that we're going to prioritize food sources. So there's going to be like an ag sec. Woo, maths! And you didn't even need to use Excel. I didn't even need to use Excel. I'm smart. I'm going to figure out... There has to be a wing of apex predators in it. Because as I planned this, I thought about the biomass pyramid. And so if we're looking to... I guess prepared specimens can also be embryos too. And things with a shorter lifespan. I'm thinking that the things with the longest lifespan will have priority, like 400-year-old trees and ancient things like that. 1 second. So that is the plan. I have some food. Food looking is good. They're good. Take my microphone over because you guys don't need to. You guys don't need to watch me eat. You have to pay me. All right, there we are. So I can get on with writing the story, which I'm very happy about because that's what I just wanted to do today. So it'll be nice to actually crack on with it in our next sprint, which will be our last sprint on this story, because then I'm hopping over to Fables to wrap up Fables, and I'm hoping that goes well. It might be that it'll be my first time working on camera but putting a composite blower on the camera, which is going to be fun. Hopefully it doesn't break the laptop. I'm under the impression that if I breathe wrong I'll break the laptop. She's an old girl. Valid, Serena. What I did the other night was I was waiting for Warframe to download, which was a catastrophic failure because my laptop is dying. But I was waiting for Warframe to download to play it with Jinx, and I was like, oh, I'll just finish. I'm into Hunger Games. So I finished Catching Fire because it had about 60 pages left, like you say. And then I went on immediately and read... How many did I read? I read 86 pages of the next one. Because I'm an addict. I'm an addict, Delison. I was so engrossed in my maths, I didn't notice if I hadn't timed any ads. I apologise if you get an ad. Oh no, add in 15 minutes. Lovely. So I will want some time to dive into the next one. That's what I'm thinking, Serena. Same brain. I might stay unmuted for a bit as I eat some food. I know it's technically focus mode, but I'm gonna eat my food. Food makes for focus. I read 600 e-reader pages today. Oh my goodness. You've been a busy bee. A full book, basically, exactly. I read chapter 1 of, I'm going to be starting a series. Food is needed for focus, so exactly. You are focusing on food. Exactly! I'm making a new thing, I think, and that was to do with reading. And so I read some of a book from the 1800s today. That was difficult. They, for some reason, didn't believe in full sentences. Everything is ended with a comma. All good, Jinx. Night, sweet dreams, you beautiful people. You're all amazing. Oh, Jinx. Well, thank you so much. Good night. I hope you have a good sleep, and I'm sorry that you didn't have a great day, but I'm glad that you took the time to rest. I really am. The video did more on that purpose. Doing anything physical or cleaning related would set my temporarily healed feeling back. Yeah. Exactly. A good excuse to read. Just read all day. Make your partner run around after you. He can do the cleaning, right? It's just good food, but there's a lot of it. I did, and he did cook, do the dishes and everything. Hey, this is good. We love a partner who supports their partner. We really do. You deserve some TLC, Serena. Nom 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 nom. Did I tell chat? Oh no, I put it in Discord. I finished my PIP form yesterday and sent it off. I also filed my taxes yesterday and sent them off. And then immediately woke up with a cold, so I don't know what cursed me. But I'm a little bit pissed about it. Yes, he's trained well. Serena. I was so upset that I woke up with a cold. Colds are stupid. It's gone into being a headache now. And the last time I really interacted with people was on Saturday. So I probably caught it at work on Saturday. And it's been fairly sort of low. Just cooking in the background. And then it came out today, this morning. And I was not happy about that because I just want to live my life with a clear nose. It's now migrated into being a headache. So, probably at work and do, yeah. I have a front-facing role at a library, so I interact with a lot of people. And I touch a lot of shared surfaces. So, I get all the stuff. This chicken is good. I have herby chicken, which is chicken with nothing on it except herbs. Olive oil and herbs. And I used to hate it because it used to just be so bland, but now I like it. Zarina, I'm glad you're full. I'm glad. Again, that'll help with the healing. Or the sort of, you know, the post-physio feeling. I had ice cream, which wasn't necessarily a good idea. I mean, it was a fun idea. You've got to have a bit of fun in your life. Zhuzh it up a bit. I'm so tired from the maths, I don't even want to look at the story anymore. I have good maths, though. I've worked it all the way down to ships that are manageable in my head. And I've added a few other things that humanity did that my characters won't come across that excuse the fact that the population is so low. My lactose intolerance will hold a grudge tonight. No, Serena! I'll be praying for you. If I was religious, I would pray to the poop god. Give me a slight thought, that's fine. I'll throw your hat in the ring. I'll pray to every god that I know about, and then I'll throw the hat in the ring. I did it to myself, I will bear the consequences. No, Serena! Here lies Serena. Taken out by ice cream. She died happy. Might be fine though, it's a gamble. It is, it really is. I went off lactose when I first had the gastro issues. And I can have little bits, but not full lactose yet. And yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. You never know. Some days the food is worth the future. I find pizza is my thing. I think that's because it's got gluten and lactose in it though. And I semi-react to both. And it is my favourite, like, junk food. So I'll eat more of it. Pizza is my problem. I don't think I've actually had pizza in over a year. Oh, Serena. You're like, one won't hurt, but then you just said that 3 times. I think maybe gluten instead. Do you ever get like a spotted rash? I literally had one on my arm this morning. This is why I'm being tested for celiac, but do you ever get arms that are just like inflamed? Because I'm being tested for celiac when they finally sort out an endoscopy for me. And in the meantime, I've got to eat as much gluten as possible to make the test accurate. And my next blood test is on the 21st. Pizza used to be the one for me too. Now I can have it sometimes. Hey, Serena, we love pizza. I'm glad you got to a place where you can have it sometimes. We deserve pizza. Me too, Serena. But then I had this semi-reactivity to both. And my diagnosis is bile acid malabsorption. But they're also seeing if celiac is on the table as well. Because I'd have to have, for it to work together, I'd have to have invisible celiac, which means symptom-free, and severe bile acid malabsorption from the celiac. Which means I wouldn't be symptom-free. Kind of, but my arm's fairly hairy, so I don't notice it often. I have very sort of systemic inflammation. I have it in a lot of my symptoms. And that is one of the things that they flagged up at gastro. Your skin, your eyes, and your gut, if they're inflamed. My eyes happen a lot. Mine too. Mine too. I get episcleritis. And I had a nodule grow on one, which was terrifying. Let me look it up real quick. There you go. Voila. Yeah, it's sort of like it's IgA levels is what it is. It also does your kidneys. If you have IgA vasculitis, your kidneys are in trouble. Which was the reason I got the urine test. And I just happened to have a urine infection at the time. It wasn't that was caused by celiac or anything, but it was nice that they caught it. That's why I was on those monster antibiotics. I still have the packet here. Nitrofurantoin, I think. There looks like there's going to be a massive storm. The sky outside is Bible black. But there's sun coming from the other side of the house. I love a storm. I love a storm. I shouldn't, because Cosmo doesn't like the storms and he gets all shaky and upset. But I do love a storm. These are all the things that sort of I've been told along my journey, going to all the different departments. Like, I was told a lot about gluten sensitivity from the neurologist that I went to, because I had such varied symptoms and I kept falling over. Turns out that was just due to dehydration because of the bile acid malabsorption. That's all that was happening. But I went to the neurologist and he sat down with me and he spoke to me about celiac for a really long time. Oh, is there? Ooh, pale. Show me the lightning. I wish Cosmo would... I wish he would have one of those, like, ear things on. The ear defenders. He wouldn't tolerate it, though. He's too wild. Let's see what we got for Oxfordshire. Oh, yeah, I see it. Ooh. Looking good. Looks promising. Looks promising indeed. I'm not working that weekend either, so I can just sit in and... I like to sit in. I genuinely treat it like a movie. I sit in, I have some chocolate, and I watch the lightning outside. I find it really entertaining. This has just turned into a chatting sprint. I hope you enjoy it. Chatting and listening to Newt eat chicken. It's good chicken. I'm off to one of my other referrals tomorrow, actually. Again, one of those random referrals that were given to me. Because gastro was one of the last to see me, but it was a gastro problem. Immunology refused to see me, which was wild because I had hives all up my arms at one point. But anyway, I'm getting my last random referral, which is cardiology. I'm fairly sure that my heart was going crazy and I had an arrhythmia at one point because of the electrolyte level in my body. Do you remember when I went to A&E and I had the lipid level of 3.3? Which is quite bad. Very bad, actually. They took a 12-lead ECG. They actually took 12. No, they didn't take 12. They took 3 12-lead ECGs. And then they... on the first one I measured as having a gulping heart, there was an arrhythmia. You were stupidly dehydrated. I had a gulping heart and I had an arrhythmia on it. And then as they rehydrated me, the arrhythmia went away. But it was still... I was still being bothered enough by the palpitations to ask for a cardio referral, and my GP pushed for it. And that's happening tomorrow. And I feel like a fraud, because since I've gone on the cholestyramine, I haven't had any palpitations. I was desiccating pale. I was just gonna dry up. I was gonna become Newt Jerky. But yeah, that whole saga was enough to justify getting my heart checked out, which has finally come around, because the referral was probably about a year and a bit ago. And it's finally happening, so I think they'll talk to me. They'll put some stickies on me, listen to my heart for a smidge, and then we'll go from there. Okay, my headphones aren't doing so great. I just took my headphones off my head because they felt weird. I think the new setup might include some new headphones. I'll disconnect. I will fix them. They've had several repairs throughout the years, as you can see. But there's electrical tape on this side. It's just busted. It's always been busted. And it's just busted again. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I was doing some budgetary calculations recently to do with that. I think that I'm going to turn it into like a bit of like a thing. Like I'm going to add to it as well. I'm going to try and do at least monthly incentives leading up to the All-a-thon in September. So that would leave me 4 months to make 4 incentives. Don't know what they're going to look like yet. But hey-ho. I was quite looking forward to making this fundraiser. But I was looking forward to it in the context of the All-a-thon. And launching it early has made me, like, nervous. I don't know why it's made me so nervous. It just has. But I spoke to Jinx for about 2 hours after stream yesterday. We had a Discord call. And Jinx was like, just put it up, just let it run. You can add to it. And as time passes, it just start to get up there. And I thought that was really good advice. Just let it run. I have some savings I want to put into it as well. I spoke to Johnny as well, because I felt bad. I felt like asking for money for nothing. But Johnny was very pragmatic and just said, the streaming is the service. Because I don't view the streaming as, like, a business. I view it as, like, hanging out with friends. We have 5 minutes left of focus mode. This really has just turned into just chatting. We're just vibing. The chicken supply is dwindling. And that's true, the service is the stream. That's what I mean, because I feel like I don't count it. I almost discount it. which is not what I should do. But it was very nice of Johnny to reassure me about that. But yeah, I look forward to building up the campaign and building up the incentives and the milestones and stuff. I have some fun stuff planned. Something that I even recorded today was to do with it. If people get into it, it'll be a big success. But if nobody gets into it, I'll just do it once. It's not OnlyFans. It's not OnlyFans, I promise. The sky's gone pink. Are we supposed to have a pink sky? Do you have a pink sky? Okay, Oxfordshire is right in the middle of like two big things of rain. We're avoiding the rain like the Matrix right now. It's only blue here. Oh, Serena, you're teasing us with the good weather. It's grey here. It's pink. It's quite brightly pink where I am. Were there drugs in this chicken? Well, we'll get some rain tomorrow. Not while I'm at the cardio. When am I at the cardio? It's in the morning. Which I think I was going to go. And then come back and have a nap and then stream after that. So message. I have so many messages on my phone saying, this is from the health assessment. Or this is from the GP. Telling you stuff you already know. And since there's so many of them, I start to lose what I do know. It'll be on my NHS app, won't it? I've done no work this sprint. I've just waffled. Grey bluish. It's been raining up until an hour ago. It can rain again in 5 minutes, knowing Belgium. True. Waffles. I might have a stroop waffle after this. I gotta keep my gluten up. Appointments. Manage G... No, it's not GP appointment. Oh, who's doing my blood test? Oh, yes, I like her. I have favourites when it comes to my my GP practice and blood tests. I have my favourites because some of them just poke and they make me faint. I love to carbohydrate. I'm a close eye on the weather. Starting the head gasket on Saturday, and as of right now, it's going to be okay weather. Oh god, fingers crossed. Hospital and specialist appointment. Cardiology appointment, Friday, 15th of May, 10:35. So I'll be off in the morning for that. Is it the pretty one? Mechanics, tell me more, pale. You're like, trains, mechanics, tell me, please. Right. I think that is my food done, but that is honestly just in time for the next break. There's only one thing to do. Have a stroop waffle. As sent by the beautiful lady of the wheel. I need to correct my camera. Coming back to me now. Ba-ding, there's the break. Oh, how did everyone do at that sprint, everyone? I did so much work. Look at all the work I've done. How did everyone get on? I did so well. 20-year-old car failed the MOT due to emissions and oil leak. Oil is coming out of the head gasket on the outside, so I got to take it all apart and fix. Oh god. Also, I replaced the MAF and lambada sensors for the emissions. Oh god. I've written 500 words in between listening. Hey, Serena! Some of us are doing it. Let's get it there. Good girl, dude. No, don't know what you mean. Look at these fruit waffles. Just look. Look at how crunchy. Come on, camera, focus. Camera, you can do it. There it is. They are delish. They really are. Black Iris. Black Iris just takes it through the ether. Have you done the microwave thing yet? Not yet. I totally haven't. I should. But I have a whole other packet. This is my first packet. Because Jinx shared his out between... Well, when we first sat down and had some, Jinx shared out his first packet and it was gone in the same night. And because I have no friends. No, because I keep them at home. I haven't shared with anyone, so I'm still just partway through my first packet. But I will do the microwave thing. And I will do the thing... I might try and make a hot chocolate tonight because of my poorly nose. I might make a little hot chocolate to soothe it, and then I'll put a stroopwafel on top and let it melt a bit. I have so many crumbs on my desk. I sent Megora a video of me unboxing it and trying my first stroopwafel. The mess I made of my desk. That's so good. My first thought when I first tried one was that they tasted like Christmas. And I think that's because of the cinnamon. It's cinnamon, it's vanilla, and it's got like that crunchy and soft texture of a dessert. It just made me, it screamed Christmas to me. 20-year-old, ooh, new car stuff. I like 1980 and older. However, I've been known to work on VW diesels. Really, Jeff? Are you a car aficionado? A car man, as it were? Imagine eating a screaming food. Oh. I would love to work on all the cars. I hate the computers. You hate working in an office. I don't think I could work in a closed office. I like my job at the library because you never know if you're going to be approached by a customer, and if you don't want to face the screen, you can go do some shelving. And if you don't want to look at all of the books and go through them, then you can do some boxing up. It's a really nice, varied job. Jeff, why did I not know that about you? That's so cool. Angeli. It must be lovely when you get a new project. Well, you know what must be lovely? When you get a new project and you know, it's awful. It's 1900. It's really run down. It's been kept in the same place for ages. It's a rust bucket. And then seeing what you do to it after. And seeing how the before and after must be really satisfying. You do now. I do now, indeed. Last bite. Ah. Oh, good. I'm so glad Megora didn't inject them with poison. She told me she would. Alright, I am heading on into some Fables work, which is going to require me to put composite blur on. I have never put composite blur on my camera before. I have only ever put it on screen. So we'll see how this goes. Unless it's a slow poison. Exactly, Blackout. You know what? You might be right. You might be right. I'll go to cardiology and they're gonna be like, did you know that your heart is a stroopwafel? I'm gonna say, I can explain. It is May, isn't it? I hope so. Can I write airlock on it? Airlock, yeah. All filed away. Oh, and then I need to get out the other files. So Fables, I've printed out in small. I then realised that I can't afford a guillotine right now, so I haven't cut it to size. So all of this is just annotation space. And I've been working like that on it. So just to go through punctuation especially. I overused commas for sure. One of the regular downtime hobbies for the dispatch supervisor and I is to look up classic cars on eBay. He tends to give the 80s era stuff and American cars. I love stuff from the 20s to 60s and usually English. Hell, that's so cool. I want you and Jeff to start a Top Gear-esque program to do with the restoration of vintage cars, please. I want that. I've gone through a lot of this. Let me see if I can put... It might be that I can't put composite blur on, but that I just accept that some of you are going to see the contents of it. Because the Fables themselves are available online anyway. Effect filters. Ah, composite blur. Composite blur? Composite blur. What else can I do? Box composite blur. Dual quasi. Pixelate. Look at that thing. Temporal. I think that blur is fine. Effect mask none. Yeah, that'll do. Did you see the pixel? The pixelated one was crazy. That's just so you can't read the content, but you can still see me working, because this will be up for sale, and it sort of negates it being up for sale just to show it all online. That's the one I'm up to. I've done a contents page this time, and I'm going to be releasing the first editions of Fables Volume 1 will no longer be available very soon. Though I will warn you again before I do it, because I need to redo a contents page on it, because I just didn't do one. I just forgot. So I need to release a revised version at least before the year is out. And then I'm going to be looking towards Fables Volume 3 and then the Omnibus. Scale it down to... Someone's asking about the math. 0.001. There we are. How I tried to explain that maths. I said I had to calculate Earth's biomass percentage and scale it down to 0.001% of itself to calculate theoretical spaceship size. That's how I've explained it. I think that's what I've done. Pretty much what I've done. I need to check as well that these fables are not still on that stolen website. I've not checked. And I haven't submitted my own complaint yet. It's so caught up in the PIP forms and stuff. As soon as I finish the PIP forms and the tax form, bloody Complex Needs Service, the mental health thing, sent me a letter saying, you've got forms to fill in. And I was like, you fuckers, when will my desk ever be clear? When will I be allowed to just not? Also, even with the composite blur on, I think you can tell if I'm sneaking these. There's crumbs in the bottom of this, and I'm going to be honest, I am going to drink the crumbs. They're just the most perfect things in the world. It's like a moon, it's just going to come over. And then the next time you see it, it'll have a bite out of it. And then the next time you see it, it'll have 2 bites out of it. The composite blur does nothing. Alright, how are we doing? Okay, next sprint will be 5 out of 6. And then I've left the 6th sprint to be whatever I want it to be. So, I may continue to work on this, or I may go back to the story. We'll see. Nom. BLB gonna Bruce Almighty. I thought we were gonna go grab a Stroop Waffle. Join me in this beautiful feast. How are we doing on Twitch? Okay, good. Advert. We're doing the next 25 minutes. I need to run an ad during the next sprint. If I forget, it'll interrupt me when I'm talking. The sky is no longer pink. I'm just vibing eating this Stroop Waffle now. I had that in the video I sent to Lady Magora. I fully just ate a second Stroop Waffle and didn't say anything. I was like having a moment. I fast forwarded it. Boom. I was wondering where my background music went, but of course I've taken my headphones off. That's not quite a Saint Dumas moment, but it's close. Do I have electrical tape? I have duct tape. Might have to repair my headphones with duct tape. So we're gonna have headphones covered in tape. We're gonna have a laptop which pretty much has a non-existent battery. And we're hoping that it all lasts until September. I think it's gonna work. Alright, I'm ready to review this. There's a lot to review. And the first few fables, the grammar is what I would consider to be bad. But then it gets better as I start to learn about grammar. There's also one fable in here that makes me cry every time I read it. Not to be a narcissist or anything, but it does make me cry when I read it. I think it's less because it's a profound story and more because I was in a bit of a state when I wrote it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Facts. Exactly. Exactement. It's nice to work on pen and paper. It's nice to have the printer as well to be able to work on pen and paper. I'd like to be able to print out my own copies of things, and in order to do that, I'm going to have to figure out how to print one page on this side on the upper left, and then print the other page on this side backwards in the upper right. That's going to be difficult when it's not done full size like this. So if I had to make it smaller like this, it's not an A4 sheet. Where the fuck is the year gone? Exactly! I was calculating a few things for the pip form, like how long I've been sick and how long I've been on treatment and things. And it's wild to me. There's two things that are wild to me. It's wild to me that I've only been on treatment for 3 and a bit months, I think. Or maybe 4 and a bit months. And I've seen such improvement. But it's also wild that that time has passed. Mentally, I'm kind of still in Christmas. Ding! Alright, we are heading back into focus mode. I will be working on pen and paper like this with the blur on, because this is something that I intend to sell The fables themselves, though, are already up on a web page available for free. But I don't want to give away the author's notes online, so I'll be doing it like this. I wish everyone the best of luck with their sprint. It's the second to last one, with the sixth one being free. So I will see you in 25 minutes. Good luck, everyone.
You are a wonderful streamer. Your community loves you, and you deserve all the support they give you.
Sorry, I totally didn't hear the beep. And I wasn't texting and streaming. I would never. Alright, this is our last 5-minute break before we go into our very last sprint. I'm making very good progress on this. I'm on page 23 out of 50-something? 53. So I have another 30 pages to go on the spell check for this. I will then do the corrections on my file. I will then upload it to KDP. I will then make a cover, and then it will be up for sale. And I look forward to it. Any proceeds from it, I think, will go towards the new setup, naturally. But yeah, it's a bit of a labour of love, the Fables. And I enjoy doing them very much. Lord knows what I'm going to write for Fables Volume 3. I've got none of those. At least for the transition between 1 and 2. I had a few written for 2 already. Not this time. Not this day. Do you have a setup planned yet? I have the basics planned. I can't give you specifications, but I know what I want to do with it. And I know that I want to get it from Overclockers UK. Those are my plans. And I was going to go for a mid-range to high-range one that's probably going to be about 2,500. I have like a monetary goal. Yes, I have the goal of 1,500 to get within the thing. Did you see the Tiltify link? I put up a Tiltify link in special events because it was supposed to be. This was all supposed to be happening in September. Full graphics while streaming is wonderful. I bet it is. But anything that I get will be an improvement. However much I manage to get for it in my own savings and with this. However much will be an improvement, because this laptop's brilliant, don't get me wrong. It was £900, it's MSI, it is brilliant, but it is not a PC. And getting a PC will feel different, and I think it will feel better. But with all the bells and whistles, I anticipate it coming to 2,000 to 2,500, I think. We'll see what deals Overclockers can do for me, and we'll see what is sort of like a deal breaker for me. £100 sounds heavy. Jerry! Jerry! Let me convert that into dollarinos for you. 3,349.50. I'd like it to have as many NVIDIA and MSI components as possible. I would probably choose that component at a downgrade as compared to something newer from a different company. My laptop was $850 and it is a paperweight now. How long did it go for though? And how much stress did you put it through? Because the battery's the problem. If somehow I could reverse engineer this MSI laptop and I could make it so that it drew power from the mains and bypassed the battery in its entirety, there'd be nothing wrong with it. I need to use it more, to be honest. I got it to do art on the go, and it made it to my Mimars like 3 times. My PC was 1,850 and it is 4 years old and it can't do Windows 11. Really? Only at 4 years old? I thought PCs would last longer. Can't you just replace the battery? I could, that much is true, but at the age this laptop is, so if this laptop was 2 to 3 years old, then I would replace the battery. But it's 5 to 6 years old. Which makes me feel that it is only a matter of time before something else goes wrong. I might do that anyway, depending on how much it costs, and then I could have this laptop as my writing laptop. Windows 11 sucks. Yeah, it does. I use it mainly as an extra monitor before I get the new setup. That's what this is going to become. Because, as I say, it still works. It's just the battery that's gone. And so if there's even a bit of a battery drain from a game or from Discord or anything else, it just crashes. At the moment, though, I've got Chrome open, I've got OBS, and I've got Discord open, and all is going well. So I'm hoping that these 4 months it will last. Fingies very much crossed. Alright, I've put our focus mode music on. We're going to go back into our focus mode for the last 25 minutes of this stream. And then I will hop out and chat to you all just as we end. We've done a full 6 sprints today. An hour before it dies. There's nothing but watching YouTube. Jerry, you want to know how far I've pushed this laptop? The battery time that I have left, so the manufacturer's battery time, where it says for a full battery and regular medium usage, you should get about 8 hours out of it. I have 2 seconds. It's literally there as a statistic on the Windows grab of the battery report. I get 2 seconds before it shuts down. That's how much it's retaining. So I gotta be near power. Same, exactly the same thing. Which I feel a PC would be much better for, because you don't need a battery, it goes straight to the components, because you're plugged into the mains. I do feel like that would be better. And a PC, like you say, is better when you can unscrew it and replace the components. And a laptop, that's a bit more difficult. That being said, I may still get a new battery. I'll see how expensive it is. But I think it's time for a PC upgrade. I've been meaning to get a PC upgrade for years. I never intended to become a streamer from a laptop at all. But to have held up since 2022, I think MSI has definitely won my my patronage. Patronage? My purchases? I don't know. Anyway, we're going back into focus mode. Good luck, everyone. I'll see you in 22 minutes. I'll still be in text chat. I am going to continue with this last read through of Fables Volume 2. I'll see you in a bit. Good luck, everyone. Alright, hello. I'm doing really well on this read, actually. I'm on page 43 out of 53, just 10 more pages to go. There's definitely some more formatting to do, and I have not designed the cover of Fable Volume 2 yet either. I'm hoping to have it open for pre-orders at the start of next month, but I've said that 3 months in a row. But that was because of the pip form and then the tax form and then the other stuff that I've been filling in, and all of that has piled up on my desk and gotten in the way of this. And so it's so nice to be back to it. It's really nice to be back to it. But yeah, that is probably going to be it for today. I can take my composite blur off, can't I? How did everyone get on? And how are we all doing this fine Thursday evening? You can see this because it's just the start of the horse and the monkey. That's the horse and the monkey, which is already available online, I do believe. Since we got that wonderful joint raid today, shall we spread the raidy love and go and say hello to someone else? Oh wow, Calamari Gold's doing his 6 years on Twitch subathon. That's amazing. I've only just met Calamari Gold, though. I wouldn't say that I'm in a position to raid her. You might have raided her before. But I like to drop by at least a little bit before raiding them. Should we go and find a new friend? Let's go see. There's nobody who works in pen and paper. Maybe that's my USP. Maybe that's my USP on Twitch. I'm the one who works on pen and paper. Nobody works on pen and paper anymore. Everyone's on the computers. On the gosh darn computers. This person has a nice little setup. But they've been up for a while. Shall we go and read Archaeus then? Someone we know. Go and raid Arceus. Arceus is playing Solasta, Crown of the Magister. I don't know that game. But we do know Arceus. He's one of my writing friends from my vocal days, which is wild. Oh, thank you, pal. Do you know, I'm so glad that the laptop has held out. And this gives promise that I won't have to quit streaming for the foreseeable, because I was worried about that when it first crashed yesterday. I was significantly worried that that was going to be it for a while. I'm hoping that I will stream right up to the point where I can replace it. The Minecraft streams are worrying me. Naturally, I will keep running the server, but I'm worried I won't be able to get on it and to run it and to stream at the same time. And I head to bed too sleepy. No worries, Pale. So it's all up in the air, but I'm really glad that despite everything, if everything else goes wrong, I can still do writing streams. Even if that is 100% of what I do, I can still do writing and crafting because it's the same setup. So I love that. I'm very happy about that. We are going to go off and raid Arceus. I have some thank yous to do. Thank you for chatting, for lurking, for being here, for absolutely everything in between. Thank you so much, Black Iris, for that gift sub. That was incredibly generous. Thank you, Pale, for spending your biddies here. I really appreciate that you would spend them on me. And I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. As for tomorrow, I am going to my cardiology referral in the morning. I will see how I am after I've come home and had a nap. Because I do find travelling to the hospital quite exhausting. Chronic fatigue do be a bitch. But I have a craft project that's nice and light that I could be getting on with. And it's just nice to hang out and chat, really. So yeah, that is the general gist of things. And without further ado, we'll head on over to Arceus and I'll say goodnight. You'll have been sweet dreams. You too, Pale. Can I nap with you? Yeah, you can, Pale. Anytime. Get on in here. I'm really glad that the laptop works for writing streams. I'm so relieved. I can't tell you how relieved I am. Right, let's head on over and say hi to Arceus. And I'll say goodbye to you guys. Bye, everyone.